Hi guys, welcome to Money by Sunny. In this video, we'll be going through 8 great tips and hacks on personal finance that have had a huge impact on my life, and I'm sure they can do the same for you. These tips will cover the key areas in personal finance, which are basically how you spend, save, and grow your money. Ultimately, the aim is to improve your finances, make them more manageable, and get you closer to financial independence, which is what we all want. These tips may sometimes seem like common sense, but it's always a good idea to have a reminder about them. Do note, however, that this is not financial advice, as this is merely for educational and entertainment purposes. Now let's dive into that. Tip number 1. Start saving, even if it's a small amount every week. A good saving strategy is often the first step towards getting your personal finances in order. Fortunately, even a small amount saved each day or each week can add up to a stunning cumulative total. Imagine putting just $10 a day away all year long with that money put into a savings account. That's an extra $3,650, not including interest. Of course, what you want to do is to gradually increase the amount that you save. For example, try saving $10 a day for the first month, then increase that to $12 a day the next month, then $14 a day the next month, and so on. At the end of the year, you could end up with more than $7,500 in savings. This not only helps your bank account, but puts you in the right mindset. Namely, that even small amounts can add up to significant balances. Tip number 2. Develop a spending plan or budget. It's hard to manage your personal finances if you don't know how your money is moving. What I mean by this is how much money you're earning, where it's being spent, how much is being spent, and so on. A good way to maintain awareness of where your money is going is to keep an ongoing, up-to-date budget. Tracking your money also helps you stay accountable for what you're spending. A successful budget boils down to what is necessary for your lifestyle and what is merely a want. Of course, what is a must-have and what is a want can be a pretty personal decision. Like we talked about before though, being accountable for what you're spending is a must. Tracking your money helps set priorities and weed out what items are best spent on. This helps you sort out your expenses and allows you to start saving and investing. It's also a good idea to revisit your budget every month or every few months to make sure that it's on track. Tip number 3. Invest in growing your knowledge. Spending money to grow your knowledge and skills is always a good idea, because it's something that can pay off many times over. Knowledge is power, and the more skills and marketable expertise you have, the more power you have to take control of your finances and to create the life that you want. This could take the form of moving to a new job with a higher salary, or getting that salary jump in your current job. Expanding your knowledge might mean taking a course to deepen your knowledge in your existing industry, or as an introduction to a new area that could potentially be lucrative. There are many classes available, both online and in person, depending on the topic itself and how you prefer to learn. However you choose to do it, adding knowledge and skills to your intellectual and economic arsenal is always a good idea. This can also be a great springboard to diversifying your income, which we'll cover in detail in tip number 8. Tip number 4. Always have an emergency fund. You never know what life will throw at you, but you can be prepared for whatever might happen. This is why an emergency fund is the key to a more comfortable, stress-free life. Anything that might derail your budget and throw your savings or investment plans into disarray could be just an emergency away. And we know that we can't avoid emergencies since they can just happen out of the blue. This could be things like unexpected car issues, home appliance breakdowns, wiring issues, and many more besides. You should make an emergency fund that ideally consists of about 3 to 6 months worth of your must-have expenses before you need it. This can most simply be done by creating an auto-transfer of a fixed amount weekly or even daily to a high-yield savings account that is liquid and easily accessible when you need it. Tip number 5. Start investing for retirement early. The earlier you start saving for retirement, the better. Yet, so many people leave this task to the last minute and find themselves in a difficult situation. The earlier you start investing for retirement, the more time the money will have to grow. due to the wonderful power of compound interest. And the more you invest, the more money you will have when retirement finally arrives. If you're in the US, one of the smartest investments you can make is to invest in an IRA. An IRA is an individual retirement account that has certain tax benefits for the investor. Apart from IRAs, a good way to get your retirement investment going is to invest fixed amounts every month into a simple equity index exchange traded funds, or ETFs. This minimizes the management fees that you have to pay while still keeping you invested in equities, with the target of growing your money in the long term. Simply put, the earlier you start investing for retirement, the more money you'll have when the time comes. Tip number 6. Pay your bills on time. Why should you pay your bills on time? For one, paying late can be costly. The cost of a late payment can vary from nothing to significant sums, depending on the amount and credited. For example, banks love charging late fees for late payments on credit card bills or loan installments, as this is easy money for them. And if the late payment is sent to a third-party debt collector, that can have further costs, including legal fees or even court costs, which are definitely something to avoid. Paying on time also helps to improve your credit score, which will make it easier to both get loans in future, as well as score you a lower interest rate. These can both be extremely important items when it comes to your personal finances. The simplest way to make sure you're never late in settling a bill is to automate your bill payments. This also frees up your time to do more important and enjoyable things. After all, no one enjoys the monthly ritual of paying bills, so it's best to set it up on auto, then forget about it. Tip number 7. Get medical insurance coverage. Most people would agree that the two most important things in life are your wealth and your health. However, your health in particular can be so easy to lose without any warning. Apart from that obviously being an undesirable thing to happen, your finances can also suffer as a result. For example, depending on which country in the world you live in, the medical costs to treat major illnesses or diseases can be astronomical. This can extend beyond hospitalization or doctor's fees to things like paying for regular insulin for diabetics or dialysis for kidney patients. The best way to reduce the impact of these events is to get medical insurance. There's a common misperception that it is too expensive or that it's not necessary. But in the end, it could be the only thing that helps you and your family survive. Of course, if you live in a country that has a good, fully subsidized healthcare system, then you're one of the lucky ones. But for many others, a good medical insurance plan can literally be a lifesaver. Tip number 8. Start a side hustle. A side hustle or a second job can be a great way to supplement your income. If you have in-demand, marketable skills, there are many opportunities for you to turn those skills into money. Side hustles can be as simple as renting out a spare room on Airbnb, or as involved as starting your own business. What you will need is a little bit of time and a little bit of gumption. Before you get started though, you'll need to do some research on how to get started, and what kind of side hustles you can do. For example, for flexible, work-from-home services, you could register with a site like Fiverr or Upwork, and start taking on freelance work that matches your expertise. This is also where your knowledge and skills will come in handy, in terms of convincing your potential customers to buy your products or services. Side hustles are also important because they diversify your income, so you don't have to rely completely on your day job to make money. Jobs are not guaranteed, as we all know, and side hustle income can give you that safety net to keep you going financially. Who knows, your side hustle could even develop into your main income generator. There you have it. I'm sure these 8 tips will be super useful and really change your finances for the better. If you like this video, please do subscribe and comment. See you next time on Money by Sunny.